When you discover the world is not fair, dear all, come closer. Be still for a moment. Let your heart breathe. I want to speak to you, not as a distant voice in the sky, not as thunder on a mountain, but as the one who has watched every step you have ever taken, the one who counted your tears before you even knew they were falling. You have discovered something that every honest soul eventually discovers. You have seen it with your own eyes. You have felt it in your own bones. You have said it in your quiet thoughts, sometimes even in your angry prayers. You have seen that this world is not fair. You have seen the good suffer. You have seen the dishonest succeed. You have seen kind hearts break while proud hearts seem to walk untouched. And somewhere inside you, a question has risen like a heavy stone. Why? Dear all, do not be ashamed of this question. I am not offended by your honesty. I am not threatened by your confusion. I am the one who placed truth in your heart, and truth does not pretend. Yes, you are right. You are not imagining it. This life, as it is lived under the sun, is not always just. There are moments when the righteous fall early, and there are moments when the wicked seem to live long and laugh loudly. You have seen it, and I have seen it long before you were born. But listen to me gently now. Do not let this discovery turn your heart into stone. Some of you, when you first realized this, became tired. You said, "What is the use of trying?" Some of you became bitter. You said, "What is the point of being good?" Some of you became proud. You said, "At least I am better than others." None of these roads will give you rest. I did not create you to live in despair. I did not create you to live in comparison. I did not create you to live in quiet anger. I created you to walk with me. Dear all, hear me. Your life is not measured only by what happens to you. Your life is measured by what you become while you are walking through it. Do not think that goodness is wasted because the world does not always reward it. Do not think that faithfulness is foolish because others take shortcuts and seem to arrive faster. You are not walking their path. You are walking with me. I see your secret thought, but Lord, it hurts. Yes, I know. I am not blind to your wounds. I am not distant from your disappointments. I am not unaware of the nights you stayed awake, trying to understand why doing right sometimes seems to cost more than doing wrong. But dear all, if you build your heart only on results, it will break when results are unfair. If you build your heart only on outcomes, it will collapse when outcomes are delayed. So I am teaching you something deeper. I am teaching you to build your life on truth, not on applause, on character, not on comfort, on walking with me, not on winning quickly. There will be days when you will say, "I did everything right and still I lost." And I will say to you, "No, you did not lose, you became." You became deeper. You became more real. The world only counts what can be seen. I count what is being formed inside you. Dear all, do not let the unfairness of life make you stop being fair. Do not let the coldness of others freeze your heart. Do not let the success of the dishonest teach you the language of compromise. You are not called to copy the world. You are called to walk with me through it. Some of you are tired right now. You say, "Lord, I have tried. I have been patient. I have been honest. And still, nothing seems to change." Listen carefully. Roots grow in silence before trees grow in public. What I am building in you is not small. It is not shallow. It is not temporary. If I only wanted to make you comfortable, I would give you shortcuts. If I only wanted to make you popular, I would give you applause. But I want to make you whole, and wholeness takes time. Dear all, do not misunderstand me. I am not saying injustice is good. I am not saying pain is light. I am not saying your wounds do not matter. I am saying this: do not let what is broken around you decide what will be built within you. Stay with me. When you do not understand, stay. When you are disappointed, stay. When you are tired, stay. Because I am not finished with you. One day, you will look back and realize that what you thought was delay was actually preparation. What you thought was loss was actually protection. What you thought was silence was actually shaping. And you will say, now I understand. Until that day, walk humbly, walk honestly, walk gently, walk with me. And now, dear all, if these words have touched your heart and you feel hope rising again, write, I will keep walking in the comments as your quiet promise to yourself. Do not destroy yourself by trying to be perfect. Dear all, listen to me with a quiet heart. I see a weight on your shoulders that I never asked you to carry. I see a standard in your mind that is higher than what I ever demanded. You are tired not because you are weak, but because you are trying to be flawless in a world that is not. You wake up and measure yourself. You go to sleep and judge yourself. You replay your words, your actions, your failures, and you whisper to your own soul, I should have done better. I should be more. I should not fall like this. And somewhere along the way, you started believing that if you are not perfect, you are not worthy. Dear all, who taught you this cruel lesson? I did not ask you to become a statue. I did not ask you to become a machine. I did not ask you to become a rule that never bends. I asked you to become a living, breathing, growing heart. Hear me gently now. There is a difference between walking in wisdom and trying to be your own savior. Some of you call it holiness. Some of you call it discipline. Some of you call it high standards. But deep inside, it has turned into something else. It has turned into fear. Fear of failing. Fear of being seen. Fear of not being enough. So you push yourself harder. You forgive yourself less. You become strict with your own soul. And slowly, without noticing, you become strict with others too. Dear all, do you know what happens to a heart that is always under pressure? It becomes hard, and a hard heart cannot feel joy. I see you trying to control everything. Your image, your reputation, your future, even your mistakes. You think if you hold everything tightly enough, nothing will break. But listen to me. What you squeeze too hard, you crush. You were not created to live like a judge over your own life. You were created to live like a child walking with me. There are people who look very righteous on the outside but are exhausted on the inside. They smile, but their joy is thin. They serve, but their hearts are dry. They obey, but they no longer rest. Dear all, righteousness that is fueled by pride will always end in burnout. Do you remember what I said long ago? Why should you destroy yourself? Yes. Even good things, when carried in the wrong spirit, can destroy you. When you try to be perfect, you stop being honest. When you try to be perfect, you stop asking for help. When you try to be perfect, you stop allowing grace. And a life without grace becomes very heavy. Look at yourself. You are still learning, you are still healing, you are still becoming. Why are you angry at yourself for not being finished yet? Dear all, I am patient with you. Why are you so cruel to yourself? You think I love you more on your best days and less on your worst days. That is not my heart. My love is not a salary you earn. It is a gift you live in. Yes, walk in wisdom. Yes, grow in character. Yes, choose what is right. But do not turn your growth into a whip and your discipline into a prison. Some of you are not failing because you are weak. You are failing because you are tired. Tired of proving. Tired of performing. Tired of pretending. Come, breathe again. I do not need you to impress me. I need you to trust me. Do you know why proud righteousness is so dangerous? Because it slowly teaches your heart to look down on others and secretly compete with them. And a competing heart never rests. Dear all, you do not have to be better than others. You only have to walk with me. When you fall, get up. When you fail, learn. When you are weak, lean on me. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. I did not design you to live under a microscope. I designed you to live under my mercy. If you could see your life the way I see it, you would stop panicking and start trusting. I am not building you in a day. I am building you for a lifetime. So release this heavy burden of trying to be perfect. Be sincere, not flawless. Be humble, not proud. Be faithful, not fearful. And you will find rest again. Do not throw yourself away in carelessness. Dear all, come and sit with me for a moment. There is another danger I must speak to you about, and it is quieter than pride, but just as destructive. It is the slow decision to stop caring. It is the tired whisper in the heart that says, nothing matters anymore. I have seen you when you were disappointed. I have seen you when you were hurt. I have seen you when you tried and failed and tried again and still things did not change. And I know the temptation that comes after that. It is the temptation to let go of the steering wheel and say, if life is unfair, then I will stop trying. Dear all, that is not freedom. That is falling asleep at the wheel. Some people do not become careless because they love darkness. They become careless because they are tired of pain. So they begin to say things like, what is the use? Why should I try? Everyone else does it, so why not me? And slowly, without noticing, they start giving away their future in small pieces. Listen to me, despair is a liar that pretends to be realistic. It tells you that nothing will change. It tells you that your choices no longer matter. It tells you that one small compromise will not make a difference. But every direction is built from small steps. No one ruins their life in one day. They do it one careless decision at a time. Dear all, when you stop caring, you stop guarding your heart. And when you stop guarding your heart, everything can enter. I see some of you saying, I'm not trying to be good anymore. I am just trying to survive. But survival without direction slowly becomes self-destruction. Do not misunderstand me. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am not asking you to be strong every day. I am asking you to not give up on your own soul. There is a difference between resting and quitting. There is a difference between healing and escaping. There is a difference between accepting reality and surrendering to emptiness. Some of you are numbing your pain instead of facing it. Some of you are distracting your heart instead of healing it. Some of you are laughing on the outside and leaking on the inside. Dear all, I see it. When you live carelessly, you think you are avoiding pain, but you are only postponing it and making it deeper. Do you know why I warned? Why should you die before your time? Because some deaths do not come from accidents. They come from slowly abandoning yourself. You were not created to be wasted. You were not created to be thrown away. You were not created to be a temporary pleasure and a permanent regret. Even if your heart is tired, let it be tired with hope, not tired with surrender. Come, let me remind you of something important. Your life is not only about how you feel today. It is about who you are becoming tomorrow. Feelings change. Storms pass. Seasons turn, but the direction you choose shapes your destiny. Dear all, you may say, but I am already far. Listen to me, no one is too far to turn around. You may say, but I have already made mistakes. Yes. And you are still breathing. That means your story is not over. I am not standing in front of you with a stone. I am standing in front of you with a hand. Take it. Do not trade your future for a moment of relief. Do not trade your calling for a season of comfort. Do not trade your soul for something that cannot love you back. You are more precious than the way you are currently treating yourself. When you walk carelessly, you shrink your own life. When you walk with me, even slowly, you grow. Stand up again, not perfectly, not proudly, but honestly. If you fall, get up again. If you are weak, come closer. If you are confused, hold my hand. I am not asking you to run, I am asking you to keep walking. The narrow bridge called humility. Dear all, there is a path that many miss because it is not wide and it is not loud. It does not attract crowds. It does not make noise. It does not promise quick rewards. It is a narrow bridge and its name is humility. On one side of this bridge is pride. On the other side is carelessness. Both are dangerous. Both look different. But both lead away from life. Pride says, I am enough by myself. Carelessness says, nothing matters anymore. One lifts the chin too high. The other lets the heart fall too low. And I am calling you to walk between them. Dear all, to fear me does not mean to be afraid of me. It means to remember who you are and who I am. It means to walk without pretending to be a god and without living like you are nothing. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking of yourself truthfully. You are not perfect. You are not hopeless. You are not finished. You are becoming. Some of you stumble because you try to carry your life alone. Some of you stumble because you have stopped carrying it at all. Both are heavy in different ways. Hear me. Humility is letting me carry what you were never designed to hold. When you are humble, you are teachable. When you are humble, you are gentle. When you are humble, you are strong in a quiet way. The world thinks humility is weakness, but I tell you, humility is the doorway to wisdom. Do you know why I say the one who fears me will avoid both extremes? Because humility keeps your feet on the bridge. Pride will push you to run ahead of me. Despair will tempt you to sit down and refuse to move. But humility will teach you to walk with me, step by step, breath by breath, day by day. Dear all, I am not impressed by your performance. I am pleased by your dependence. When you admit you do not know, I can teach you. When you admit you are weak, I can strengthen you. When you admit you need help, I can guide you. But when you pretend to be complete, you close the door to growth. Some of you are tired because you are fighting battles you were never meant to fight alone. Some of you are lost because you stopped asking for directions. Come back to the bridge. It is not dramatic, it is not flashy, but it is safe. Humility will keep you from becoming hard. Humility will keep you from becoming empty. Humility will keep you from becoming lost in yourself. Dear all, you do not need to prove your worth. You need to receive it. Walk gently, walk honestly, walk with me. Even if your steps are small, they are still steps. And small steps in the right direction will still take you home. You are not as pure as you think, and that is why you need grace. Dear all, come closer. There is a truth that will not humiliate you, but it will free you. It is a truth that every wise heart eventually accepts and every proud heart tries to avoid. There is no one on this earth who always does good and never fails. Not you. Not the people you admire, not the people you compare yourself to. You are not as pure as you think, and that is not an insult. That is an invitation to stop pretending, an invitation to stop hiding, an invitation to start living in grace. Some of you are very gentle with your own mistakes and very hard on the mistakes of others. Some of you are very strict with yourself and secretly proud that you are stricter than everyone else. Both are different faces of the same wound. Dear all, when you forget your own weakness, you become dangerous to other people's hearts. I did not show you your imperfections to shame you. I showed them to teach you mercy. Look at your own life. How many times have you promised and failed? How many times have you known what was right and still chosen what was easy? How many times have you needed forgiveness more than explanation? And yet, you are still here. That is not because you are perfect. It is because I am patient. Grace is not permission to stay the same. Grace is the power to get up again. But some of you do not live in grace. You live in denial. You pretend you are always right. You pretend your intentions are always pure. You pretend your side of the story is always clean. And this pretending makes your heart hard. A hard heart cannot learn. A hard heart cannot heal. A hard heart cannot love deeply. Dear all, the wisest person in the room is not the one who sins the least in public. It is the one who is honest about their need for mercy. When you accept that you are not perfect, something beautiful happens. You stop throwing stones. You start building bridges. You stop keeping score. You start keeping compassion. Do you know why I said, do not pay attention to everything people say? Because you know your own heart. You know how many times you have spoken words you later wished you could take back. And you know how many times you have misunderstood others. So why do you demand perfection from the world when you cannot give it yourself? Dear all, humility and grace always walk together. When you are humble, you receive grace. When you receive grace, you give grace. This is how hearts stay soft. Some of you are carrying guilt that I never asked you to carry. Some of you are carrying pride that I never gave you. Lay both down. You do not need to defend yourself all the time. You do not need to pretend all the time. You do not need to judge all the time. You need to live. You will still fall sometimes. You will still fail sometimes. You will still say things you regret sometimes. And when you do, come to me, not away from me. I am not shocked by your weakness. I am a healer, not a spectator. Dear all, the goal is not to look perfect. The goal is to become real. And real hearts can be healed. Stop letting words wound you, dear all. Come and rest your heart for a moment. There is a quiet pain that many carry, And it does not come from wounds on the body. It comes from words, from what was said, from what was whispered, from what was repeated, from what was never apologized for. You have heard things that stayed longer than they should have. You have remembered sentences that should have been forgotten. You have replayed conversations that stole your peace. And I see it. Listen to me gently. Not every voice deserves a room in your heart. People speak from their own wounds, their own fears, their own pride, their own misunderstandings. Many times, what they say about you has more to do with them than with you. I told you long ago not to listen to everything people say. Not because words do not matter, but because your heart is too precious to become a storage room for every careless sentence. Dear all, you yourself know how many times you have spoken without thinking. How many times you have said things you later wished you could take back. So why do you expect perfect wisdom from every mouth around you? If you try to carry every opinion, you will collapse under the weight. Some of you are living not according to my voice, but according to the loudest voice in the room. That is a dangerous way to live. Let me teach you something freeing. You do not need everyone's approval to walk in your calling. If you are guided by praise, you will be broken by criticism. I did not design you to be ruled by comments, gossip, or rumors. I designed you to be led by truth. Dear all, there will always be someone who misunderstands you, someone who talks, someone who judges, someone who reduces your whole story to one chapter. Do not give them the pen. I am the author of your life. When you let words wound you too deeply, you begin to doubt yourself. When you doubt yourself too much, you begin to shrink your life. But I did not create you to live small because of big mouths. Some of you are still trying to heal from things that were said years ago. I say to you, release them. Not because they were right, not because it did not hurt, but because you deserve peace. Guard your heart, not with walls of bitterness, but with gates of wisdom. Let my voice be louder than their noise. When I speak, I build. When the world speaks, it often breaks. Choose carefully which voice you allow to shape you. Dear all, if you stumble, get up. If you fail, learn. But do not let the commentary of others become the compass of your life. Walk with me. I know your name. I know your heart. I know your story. And my opinion is the one that gives life. If today you are choosing to stop carrying every word and to start living by my truth, right? I choose your voice. In the comments as a quiet act of freedom. Wisdom that makes you stronger than 10 rulers. Dear all, the world has taught you to admire noise, speed, and power that can be seen. It celebrates the loud voice, the quick victory, the person who stands on the highest stage. But I want to show you a different kind of strength. A strength that does not need to shout to be real. True wisdom does not always look impressive. Sometimes it looks like patience. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like walking away when your pride wants to fight. But hear me. Wisdom will make you stronger than 10 rulers who only have position without understanding. Many can command others. Few can command themselves. Dear all, the hardest person to lead is your own heart. Anyone can react. Anyone can get angry. Anyone can speak without thinking. But it takes wisdom to pause. It takes wisdom to listen. It takes wisdom to choose what is right over what is easy. The world calls this weakness. I call it mastery. A person who cannot control their spirit is easily controlled by circumstances, by people, by emotions, by fear. But a wise heart is anchored. Storms may come, voices may rise, pressure may increase, but the wise heart remains steady. Dear all, do not measure strength by how much you can force. Measure it by how much you can endure without becoming bitter. There are rulers who can move armies but cannot rule their own anger. There are leaders who can change laws but cannot change their own habits. Wisdom will do in you what power cannot. It will teach you when to speak and when to be silent. It will teach you when to move and when to wait. It will teach you when to hold and when to release. Some of you are tired because you fight battles that wisdom would have avoided. Some of you are wounded because you trusted feelings instead of understanding. Come, learn my way. I am not calling you to dominate others. I am calling you to become deep. Depth lasts longer than display. When you walk in wisdom, you will not need to prove yourself all the time. Your life will speak for you. Dear all, wisdom is not collected in one day. It is built choice by choice. Every time you forgive instead of poison your heart, you grow wiser. Every time you wait instead of rush, you grow stronger. Every time you choose truth instead of comfort, you become freer. Do not envy those who rise fast and fall fast. Ask me for a heart that lasts. A wise person may not always win quickly, but they will not lose themselves. And that is the greatest victory. I see your hidden tiredness. Dear all, there is a tiredness that sleep cannot fix. It is the weariness of carrying too much for too long. It is the quiet exhaustion of being strong when you wanted to rest, of smiling when you wanted to cry, of holding everything together when inside you felt like you were coming apart. I see it. Others may see your work. Others may see your responsibilities. Others may see your results. But I see your weight. I see the prayers you could not finish. I see the tears you did not show. I see the questions you swallowed. And I am not disappointed in you. Dear all, you were not created to live in constant strain. You were created to live in connection. Some of you are tired because you are carrying yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's fears in the same heart. Some of you are tired because you keep giving and giving, but you have forgotten how to receive. Some of you are tired because you have been fighting silently, and silence is heavy when it lasts too long. Come to me, not when you are fixed. Not when you are strong, not when you have answers. Come as you are. Rest is not a reward for finishing, it is a requirement for continuing. If you ignore your weariness, it will begin to shape your decisions. Tired hearts choose poorly. Tired minds believe lies more easily. And that is why I am calling you to stop for a moment. Breathe. You do not have to solve your whole life today. You do not have to carry everyone today. You do not have to understand everything today. Take one step and let me carry the rest. Dear all, you think you must hold everything together, but I am the one who holds you. When you are tired, you become vulnerable to despair, to impatience, to careless words, to quick decisions. That is not because you are bad. It is because you are human. Let me be your strength again. I do not give strength in advance for 10 years. I give strength for today. So live today. Some of you feel guilty for resting. You think stopping means failing. Listen to me. Stopping to breathe is not quitting. It is wisdom. Even the soil must rest to become fertile again. Dear all, I am not driving you like a slave. I am leading you like a shepherd. If you are weary, slow down. If you are confused, come closer. If you are empty, let me fill you. You do not have to impress me. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to pretend with me. I already know, and I am still here. How to live in an unfair world without becoming bitter. Dear all, you have already learned that this world is not always just. You have seen effort go unrewarded and shortcuts go celebrated. You have watched faithful hearts wait while careless hearts seem to arrive early. And the greatest danger in such a world is not suffering. It is becoming bitter. Bitterness is a slow poison. It does not scream. It whispers. It tells you, protect yourself by hardening. It tells you, stop expecting anything good. It tells you, close your heart so it cannot be hurt again. But a closed heart cannot heal. Dear all, do not let what hurt you turn you into someone you were never meant to be. Pain is something you experience. Bitterness is something you choose. I'm not minimizing what you went through. I saw it. I counted it. I was there when no one else noticed. But I do not want your wounds to become your identity. Some of you are angry, not because you are evil, but because you are tired of being disappointed. Some of you are cold, not because you are cruel, but because you are afraid of being hurt again. I understand. But hear me, if you build your life around guarding your heart from pain, you will also guard it from joy. Bitterness will make you suspicious of good things. Bitterness will make you interpret love as a trap. Bitterness will make you remember wrong more easily than right. And slowly it will shrink your world. Dear all, forgiveness is not saying what happened was okay. It is saying it will not control you anymore. You do not forgive because others deserve it. You forgive because you deserve peace. Justice is my responsibility. Your responsibility is to keep your heart alive. Do not carry stones in a heart that was made to be a garden. Some of you are still arguing with people who are no longer in your life. Some of you are still replaying scenes that cannot be changed. This is not protecting you. It is imprisoning you. Release them, not into approval, but into my hands. When you let me carry your wrongs, you become lighter. Dear all, a bitter heart will see enemies everywhere. A healed heart will see lessons and move forward. You cannot control how others act, but you can control what grows inside you. Do not let injustice make you unjust. Do not let coldness make you cold. Do not let betrayal make you bitter. Stay soft. Soft does not mean weak. Soft means alive. The difference between surrender and defeat. Dear all, there is something I want to teach you that many misunderstand. They confuse surrender with losing. They confuse letting go with giving up. And because of this, they either fight battles that are destroying them or they quit journeys that could have healed them. Surrender is not the same as defeat. Defeat says, nothing can change. Surrender says, I cannot do this alone. Defeat closes the heart. Surrender opens the hands. Some of you are exhausted because you are still trying to control what you were never meant to control. You try to control people. You try to control outcomes. You try to control time. And when you cannot, you blame yourself or you harden your heart. Dear all, surrender is not laying down your life. It is placing it in my hands. There is a battle you must fight, and there is a battle you must release. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Some doors will not open no matter how hard you push. Not because you are weak, but because they are not yours. Some weights will not become lighter no matter how long you carry them. Not because you are failing, but because you were never meant to carry them. Come, give them to me. When you surrender, you do not stop walking. You stop pretending you are the guide. I am not asking you to stop trying. I am asking you to stop strangling your own soul with control. Faith is not forcing. Faith is trusting. Dear all, you can rest without quitting. You can pause without losing direction. You can release without becoming empty. Sometimes the strongest prayer is not, let me win, but teach me to trust. When you surrender to me, you do not become smaller. You become lighter. And light things can move. A gentle heart in a harsh world. Dear all, the world can be loud, sharp, and impatient. It can reward the aggressive and overlook the quiet. It can celebrate those who push forward and forget those who carry others. And in such a world, your heart is always being taught a dangerous lesson. Harden yourself so you will not be hurt. But listen to me, a hardened heart may feel safe, but it cannot feel alive. You were not created to become sharp in order to survive. You were created to become deep so you could endure. Gentleness is not weakness. It is strength under control. It is power that refuses to become cruel. It is courage that chooses kindness even when kindness is not rewarded. Dear all, anyone can learn to protect themselves by closing off. But it takes wisdom to remain open without becoming foolish. A gentle heart does not mean a naive heart. A gentle heart does not mean a silent heart. A gentle heart does not mean a heart without boundaries. It means a heart that does not need to destroy in order to stand. Some of you have been hurt so many times that you decided to become cold. You said, if I expect less, I will feel less. But you also live less. Pain taught you to build walls. I am teaching you to build gates. Walls keep everything out. Gates let you choose what enters. Dear all, do not become like what wounded you. If you let a harsh world turn you harsh, the wound has won twice. Stay soft. Soft does not mean fragile. Soft means responsive. Soft means alive. Soft means able to feel joy when it comes and compassion when it is needed. A gentle heart listens before it reacts. A gentle heart seeks to understand before it judges. A gentle heart is strong enough to forgive without forgetting and wise enough to remember without poisoning itself. Some of you think you must always be on guard. You live tense, you speak defensive, you interpret everything as an attack. Come, breathe. Not every word is a weapon, not every disagreement is a threat, not every delay is a rejection. Dear all, you can be firm without being hard, you can be clear without being cruel, you can be strong without being sharp. I am shaping you to be safe for others and steady for yourself. When your heart is gentle, people can rest near you. And when people can rest near you, you become a place of healing without even trying. Do not underestimate the power of a calm presence in a noisy world. Do not underestimate the strength of a quiet yes and a wise no. Do not underestimate the courage it takes to remain kind. Dear all, protect your heart, yes, but protect it with wisdom, not with ice. If today you are choosing to keep your heart gentle and alive, even in a harsh world, write, "Keep my heart soft" in the comments as your quiet prayer. Walk with me and you will not be lost. Dear all, you have walked a long road with me through these words. You have seen your weakness, you have seen your weariness, you have seen your questions. And I had shown you my heart. Now listen carefully, because this is the center of everything. You were never meant to walk this life alone. Many of your fears came from trying to navigate the future by yourself. Many of your mistakes came from listening to too many voices and not enough to mine. Many of your wounds came from carrying weights you were never designed to carry. But when you walk with me, you will not be lost. You may not always know the map. You may not always understand the timing. You may not always see the next turn. But you will not be alone. Dear all, I do not promise you a life without storms. I promise you my presence in every storm. I do not promise you a path without valleys. I promise you my hand in every valley. I do not promise you quick answers. I promise you steady guidance. Some of you are afraid of making the wrong decision. You are paralyzed by the need to be perfect. Listen to me. Walking with me is not about never stumbling. It is about never staying down. When you walk with me, even your detours will teach you. When you walk with me, even your delays will shape you. When you walk with me, even your mistakes will not be wasted. I am not a distant observer of your life. I am a companion on your journey. Talk to me, not only when you are desperate, not only when you are afraid, not only when you are confused. Talk to me when you are grateful. Talk to me when you are calm. Talk to me when you are planning. Let me be part of your ordinary days, not only your emergencies. Dear all, do not measure your life only by how fast you move. Measure it by how faithfully you walk. Slow steps with me are safer than fast steps alone. Some of you are waiting to be sure before you move. I say to you, trust grows while you walk, not before you walk. Take the step you can see. I will guide the step you cannot. Remember everything I have shown you. Do not destroy yourself with pride. Do not throw yourself away in carelessness. Do not harden your heart with bitterness. Do not exhaust your soul with perfectionism. Do not lose your peace to other people's voices. Walk humbly. Walk gently. Walk wisely. Walk with me. And you will find that even when life is not easy, your heart can still be steady. Even when the world is unfair, your spirit can still be at rest. Even when you do not understand everything, you can still move forward. Dear all, your life is not a problem to be solved. It is a journey to be walked with me. And I am here today, tomorrow, always. If you are choosing today to stop walking alone and to walk with me, write "I will walk with you" in the comments as your quiet lifelong decision. And dear all, if this entire series has helped you, strengthened you, or guided you, remember to support this work in simple ways. Like, subscribe, join this family, and if your heart feels blessed, you may also support through super thanks, so these words can continue to reach many hearts who are still searching for their way.